Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to SA Accounting Academy. Here's a short clip on one of our previous webinars. I hope that you really do enjoy it.
And how everybody's going. It's a Monday morning. I think that if nothing else, it's our first session of a Tech Talk 360. Carmen and Karen on SAAA. We've done this for some sister institutes, should we call them that? But we usually do them pre-recorded. Carmen, I think maybe you just need to move your mic a little bit away from your, yeah, there we go.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks. We're having some Darth Vader moments.
Yeah, that's not good.
So it's the first time we're actually doing this live, I think, in this space and in this platform, which is awesome. It's actually so great to have somebody with me rather than not with me. And I know the session's been recorded so that people that haven't been able to make a Monday morning in March. I don't know about you, Carmen, but I think most of my delegates and my clients, March is proving to be a challenging month. I thought February was bad, but March seems to be just as bad as February was. One day we will have an easy life. I don't know when that will be. So I think quite a few people might be taking this as a recording and as a come and chat later. But we're going to go on and have some fun. It's the inaugural session, and we decided to do when debts go bad or when good debts go bad, and to talk about the challenges that have recently been happening. Now, when I was doing my notes, I actually updated because I thought, well, we had COVID. Then 2020 was COVID. 2021 was looting. And apparently 2022 is the Ukraine-Russian
They said World War, who knows?
Yeah, it seems like each year we're having a different issue and a different thing to have to deal with. So this idea that we are going to have good people, good clients, but challenges around us is something I think is becoming part of the norm for our practices and something that we are having to try and get our heads around. And as such, I think this is a topic people have to realize. I think people also think this is far more simple than it is, because in accounting, we don't make a big meal out of it. In accounting, we sort of say you've got one of two options. You can provide for a debt that may go bad, and then we talk about impairment and we talk about a few things like that. And then we've got, well, write the thing off. But our standard of testing and our standard of issues is nowhere near yours. And for those of you that aren't familiar with us, you can think of me as the accounting legislation auditing person. So anything that is accounting legislation auditing, ethics is both of us, but is my face to it. And then anything tax is Carmen. So, I always, my SAAA audience, they're kind of like home for me. I feel like I'm here all the time with them.
It's a new space for me.
It's a new space for you, so welcome to my space. And I think I use your name in vain often. I think sometimes, like randomly on a Thursday morning, you must have the twitch in your shoulder blades, and you just Karen's talking about you on SAAA. But I actually brought you along now so that they can see you and speak to you directly as far as the tax issues are concerned. But when it comes to debt, the reason the session got developed to begin with is that people would phone and say, I've got an intercompany loan and I just want to write it off. Or I've got this issue and I just want to make it go away. And they just had this idea, because I think of the accounting concept, that it's very straightforward. And then Carmen would start talking. So we would be on a joint conversation and Carmen would start talking. And I would go Whiskey Tango Foxtrot. I would go,
yeah.
What do you mean there's this section, that section, the next section, and then this section to that section and this section? And we suddenly start to realize that this was far more complicated than we originally thought. So this is where this section sort of originally came from. Please ask questions. The Tech Talk series, the series where I'm bringing Carmen and we may bring other people in as we do these conversations. It is meant to be a practical conversation. It is meant to be a session of you talk, I talk, everybody talks. We have questions, we have conversations, we have practical issues and challenges, and we go from there. So ask questions, be in the chat box. Both Carmen and I can see the chat box. We can both see what's been written in there. And we will respond. Carmen and I are pretty good at picking up questions on the fly. as I think many of you, if you've been to any of our sessions in the past, will know. So please, communicate and disagree with us, throw things out at us. We are not wilting shy flowers that will get, whereas me, somebody doesn't like what we're saying. But be prepared for us to come back with you with our thoughts and feelings as well.
I don't know, Karen, in the tech space, I've kind of gotten to the point where it's unusual if they like what I'm saying.
Well, if you notice, we never ask, are you happy? We just ask, are you comfortable? we
Do you
are very
understand?
careful. This is the message that we need to get out there. So if you are new to us, this is me. I always look at this picture, Carmen, and go lockdown here. But anyway, so this is me. I was suddenly realized I'm wearing the same color again. And for those of you that are interested, that is Carmen. So and you're wearing the same color as well. You blue.
Yeah.
Again, so we literally.
I didn't actually coordinate that on purpose, but
yeah, we blue and pinks here. So I'm just wondering here. I think I accidentally got a slide in the wrong place. Sorry, but it's a good question to ask, and I don't think we've got the polling capability on Click Meeting. I'm not too familiar with Click Meeting when it comes to those things, but. Just in the chat box, out of interest, because this is actually interesting from both points of view, but more for you than for me. I keep detailed records of all my loan accounts and can split the interest from capital. Is that really what you do? Always, mostly, sometimes, never. Is this a trick? And we actually would like you to think about this as we start. We'll get into the nuts and bolts of it later, but this is quite an important element, Carmen. I know.
I was going to say this is the kind of thing where this also in part originated more from my world than from the accounting world, as it were, to a point, because the reason we're asking this, there are actually it's a legal question too. There's actual real legal ramifications to the interest versus the loan capital, but the tax treatment is also different. But yeah. I'm going to go here and say, based off my experience, and every time we've run the session or asked this question, probably it's a 95% will be no, as you don't.
I think the most, maybe what I might see is if they've got amortization schedules. There you might see interest versus capital split, simply because they of the way that they've worked or created the loan, and they've actually set up an amortization schedule. But that's if they're sticking to it. And when you come to that's a structured financing arrangement that somebody's got. But when you're coming to most of the loans that we're actually going to be probably working with, there will be related party loans, there'll be shareholder loans, there will be loans that weren't intended to be formal financing arrangements potentially. There'll be a large group of that basket. And then this doesn't happen because it's just like, hey, I need 100,000 for this project. What about this? What about that? Oh, wait, hang on a sec. You're getting, you haven't been paying so well, so we're going to start charging interest now. And these loan accounts just grow. Somebody heard a whisper. What is our favorite one? Somebody hears a whisper, I must charge interest.
I don't know if it's so much the whisper as the people have been traumatized by a certain, or you. No, let's rephrase.
They've been traumatized by you.
I don't traumatize people, but you learn the short end. And I think that's something which across the board in both our worlds is a problem, is people learn a shorthand for, I have to charge interest, but they don't actually understand the legal reasoning and queries that go into the thinking, which then also means the advice becomes bad because when it changes, you don't know why or how it actually impacts you.
No, 100%. I think you've hit the nail on the head. I mean, so many people it's the de facto sort of, okay, this is how we do things without questioning the why. I mean, again, my favorite saying is, if you know why, you know how. But people just do without thinking about the pieces behind it. And then they land up with these big, horrible clunky structures. And then they have this revelation when you say to them, but why are you charging interest? You know, you're just actually making the loan account bigger and bigger without any intention to repay it. And it's a light bulb moment with it. By the way, we do a different session, which we will most probably be running sometime during the year.
I hope that you enjoyed that video. For more of our webinar videos, go to www.accountingacademy.co.za. Thank you and have a lovely day.